Over the years, there have been many people wondering if there's something wrong with the GTA 5 map, or if it's the worst one out of all the other GTAs. So let's answer the first question, because I haven't played the other games, and try to find the issue with the GTA 5 map by going over 7 of the worst places on the map and trying to draw a conclusion from there. The first issue are the mountains. It doesn't really matter which one, so I'm just going to talk about like all of the mountains because they all have the same issue. That issue being you can't really get off them without dying. I mean, if you get stuck on a mountain, you can't spawn a vehicle. You can't really walk around without just slipping and like cracking your head open like an egg. So getting stuck on a mountain is definitely one of the worst things that could happen to you. But that's not the only issue with these mountains. Let's say you're doing a mission which takes you to a mountain. Now you're at risk of cougars, which makes mountains even worse. Next up, we have the highway. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the highway that goes through the city. Like, I love that part of the highway. But as soon as you leave the city, it feels super empty and just super underwhelming because it's just one big loop, which honestly, it makes sense why it was made like this, but it feels like there's not really a point of going anywhere because the highway doesn't really have much to offer when you drive around it, unless it's for like a mission or something, or you're trying to get to one of your businesses. I mean, don't get me wrong, driving around freely on a highway can be super relaxing, but when you have to drive like 6 miles for a mission, it can get quite annoying, especially if something bad happens, like hitting an NPC and spinning out like crazy because you were driving on top speed. So I was editing the video and I just realized that you're not subscribed. So press that huge white button under the video, leave a like, leave a nice comment, and enjoy watching the rest of the video. Sticking on the theme of the highway, let's talk about one of its main stops, Paleto Bay. Now, the only reason I could see for anyone going to Paleto Bay is to escape the main city of Los Santos and escape all of the chaos, griefing, and fighting that goes on there. Or you might have a business there for whatever reason. So honestly, going to Paleto Bay feels like a complete waste of time because it takes a good like 3 or 4 minutes to get there and it has like nothing to do here. I mean, I guess it would be nicer if there was a quick way to connect with the main city, but I don't think anyone would use it. So that's kind of pointless. Next up, we have being on the far side of LSIA. This is an issue which most people probably don't find because I spend a lot of my time racing in LSIA. And of course, in typical GTA fashion, a jet flies by, bombs us all, and leaves because I don't even know why he would do that. But when this does happen to us, we spawn about here, which feels like a 20-mile marathon from any other road. Now, of course, you can't spawn cars here because these runways don't count as roads. So your only hope is to find one of your jets or find a plane that naturally spawns in the airport, which sometimes could feel even slower than running around. I mean, if you find something like a Velum or a Cuban, then you're completely ruined. Moving on, we have the Vinewood Hills. For this one, I want you guys to look at this section of the map. Does this look like fun for someone who likes to speed in their cars and drive at like top speed? Or if you said yes, then take a look at this. Yeah, it doesn't end well. Like having all of these twists and turns is completely unnecessary. I mean, I wouldn't mind a few bends, but when there's not a single straight road in this entire section, then we have a problem. Another issue with this area is if you're trying to drive a truck or, I don't know, a post-stop van up or down this hill, you drive so slowly. Even if you don't hit anything, you drive so slowly, and all you can do in this time is stare at the timer as it goes down for your sole mission. The final thing we have, I wasn't too sure what to like name this section, but it's all about the conspiracies, the weird things, the random things that happen around the map. So stuff like the ghost of Mount Gorda, which isn't really a conspiracy theory because we know like everything about this. Like we know who this is, how she got here, so it's not really a theory. The next one is the mines that are in this area of the map, which is a bit weird because it's in the middle of nowhere and it's not really mentioned much in the story. To get inside, all you have to do is blow up the doors and you could find the dead body of Isaac, who's some old-time actor who died in 1947. Despite dying 78 years ago, his body is still intact and bleeds when shot, which is very weird. Then again, this is a game, so don't take it too seriously. Finally, we have the Mount Chiliad mystery, which I'm definitely not going to cover now. That conspiracy theory has way too many layers for me to cover here, so I can make a different video if you guys want. But let me get to the point. These conspiracies don't get developed much, which leaves us in this crazy state of not knowing what to think. Kind of like what Rockstar's doing with the GTA 6 trailer too, and how the entire community lost their minds over trying to find out when trailer 2 would be. So those were the 6 worst places in the map. So to answer the question from the beginning of the video, is there something wrong with GTA 5's map? I'm gonna say yes. The main issue for me is that the map is too dense in the city, meaning any area outside of the city gets a lot less development. Now, of course, this was mainly due to the hardware that was available back in 2013, and you could tell Rockstar is working towards a more immersive and packed map. If you look at Red Dead's map, where you have a good mixture between dense areas like St. Denis, Ansburg, and Blackwater, but you have more open areas like the Heartlands, which still don't feel empty because of all of the random events that could happen. And with that, the list is over. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and like always, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.